excited today because I have one of my longest, closest massage friends, and Ben Curry.
Hello.
Meet everybody out there. Ben and I met in 2011, Cortiva Institute, and I was Ben's teaching assistant for the foundations class, which was the very first class you took when you came to massage school. It was one of the first 4 classes that you took. And Ben had been teaching there for how long?
A semester or two.
Semester or two?
Something like that. It's honestly, it's all a haze to me. Like, I'm not sure.
But we obviously, in case you will be able to tell, we hit it off and we got on so great. We just had a lot of fun. I think it was an entire year that we worked together. And I think it was 4 cohorts at night. We both were night instructors. And I just had the pleasure of learning so much from Ben. And again, I was just telling him how much of a wordsmith I think he is and how much I appreciate that because I'm a word person and a book person. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to ask Ben to just give us a little bit of background about your massage background because he has a rather interesting story. His family, it's a little bit of a family trade in his family. So I'm going to turn the table over and tell us a little about yourself.
I mean, I first of all, thank you for having me, Heather. I really appreciate it. And it was doing the teaching with you at that Cortiva at that time. The confusion is there have been a number of names of late, but it was one of the great creative experiences I think of my life, and it was so fun to share massage therapy with those youngsters. Some of them not so young, but but it was just and I just was like the partnership that we formed was one of the great ones of my life in terms of just the way we were able to guide students, and I always felt so actualized at the end of every class. I mean, we just seemed to split things up so well. I felt, so just very powerful and complete with those classes. Like I felt like whenever you want, I mean, it's part of what I think makes your massage great and mine too, is that, we're there in the moment. It matters.
Right.
You're doing something. Someone is putting their money and their body and giving you their time. It's willing to take time out of their day to be here, and you want to make it worth it.
Right.
So I mean that's just I always it's a sweet time in my life for sure. But I was born into a family of massage therapists. Both of my parents, my mom was a massage therapist for over 30 years until she died, and my dad is a rolfer and has been, I think, since 1976. So he's got, how many years is that? 45 years.
A lot.
And he's still working. He's still working. I mean, he's a dynamo. And
he teaches CEUs, and so does Ben, and so do I, for massage and practice.
Yeah.
So we can send you to that website, and you can find out all about Ben's father, Don.
Yeah, he's quite a guy. He's a wise guy and a wise guy.
And funny. Shout out to Don. We love you.
But it's so I feel like, I mean, part of the what I want to share with people is, I mean, for me, massage was a part of my family life, so I think I'm supremely comfortable with what it takes to get a massage done, more so than maybe most people, and
it's in your DNA.
It's in my DNA, and it's also just something, that's how we used to, it was something that was just a part, like I said, we did it on a daily basis around the house. My parents were always talking about it.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous.
and I mean, I just, I want to, that's what I would like to share with people, is that this is a language that you're learning. This is something, it's a very simple process that if you honor your craft, it will pay you back many times over, and it will be worth it. People will want to be on your table.
Right, right.
And it's part of it is being willing to share yourself in that way, I think. I mean, and I love doing it. I mean, I love sharing it with students, to give them the opportunity to just have these moments. I mean, I really treasure my time with my clients as well, as an opportunity to just where you set your junk aside at the door, and you're dedicated to something that is higher, more important.
It's a passion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a passion. It just is, and I feel it too. It's for myself. always loved giving massages. I've always given a massage, even before I knew what I was doing. You know, you just do intuitively on somebody's shoulders some petrissage and feet work and all this stuff. Now, I want to go back because I know that at one point you also studied IT and you're very computer literate. I'm not sure how much you studied, but maybe you can speak to that and why. Did you circle back to massage? Was that just a little digression, or how does that play into your path?
Well, I've always been a bit of a nerd, and I'm like a Linux guy, and I used to do a lot of like Web 1.0 and Web 2.0 development and stuff like that, and it's I still love doing it. I love math and logic and things like that, but I mean I ultimately ended up with a job where I would literally walk through this store and then down into a hole in the ground with a single light swinging over me, like a single bulb, and it was just not for me. You know, and I really enjoy the unique personal connection you get with massage. You know,
right.
And like you said, you enjoyed doing massage before you learn, you know,
right.
because it is part of, I mean, this is part of the gift we are given as
right.
humans, is like the ability to communicate in that way. And I think that maybe when we lived in smaller, discrete units, that was a much bigger part of our lives, was direct physical contact. And now you have everybody, but certainly there are huge segments of the population that have no access to touch in their lives. And it's a fundamental nutrient, you know. It's fundamental to our happiness and enjoyment of things. And it's part of what I think it's a big part of what I'm getting out of the experience as well. Is like this close contact with someone, and I'm able to, I'm trying to empathize. I'm trying to sympathize, you know, which is
so. Let me ask you, how would you like to see the massage industry progress? How do you think? More of the population could have access to massage that needs it. Have you had any thoughts on that?
I mean, I do. I think that. I mean, it's an easy answer to say, which is it's self-serving in a way. It's also say, I mean, hey, keep educating yourself. I mean, more access to better education is certainly a big part of it. And I would like to. I mean, personally, I'd like to teach massage more in an expansive way rather than a reductive way. I mean, I think that a large part of the current massage industry exists to teach massage therapists what the risks are and what you cannot do, which is, here are the things that are impossible. Don't do this and don't do that. And it's like, I think that maybe even though there's certainly some truth there, it's an absolutely uninspiring narrative to give to new therapists. And so it's, oh my goodness, I look great.
Well.
But I mean, it's like so I mean, I'd like to, what I would like to give my students particularly is a system by which what you're doing is engaging your sensitivity and engaging your client in their sensitivity and getting involved in a conversation with them. And I don't mean necessarily speaking, but what I'm saying is bringing them into sensation.
Right.
And I think that can be life-changing, because what your teachers are going to tell you is that massage doesn't do this, and it doesn't do that, and it also does not do this. And then so you're left with, then why are we healthcare? Why do people get why do I keep experiencing these people getting these results?
Right.
And I think that the answer is that in fact, as modern humans, we have been separated from some aspect of our reality. That is, and we're left feeling powerless about our own bodies, about what our minds are doing. It's like this is something we're observers to this whole thing. And so you're in mental anguish, you're in physical pain. Maybe you probably need some pills, you know what I mean, or something surgery along those lines, or surgery, and it's all of this is, I mean, it's all disempowering to people.
Absolutely.
You know, and I am not advocating massage to fix some esoteric illness or malady that you may have, but what I am advocating for is is reawakening your sensitivity and engaging yourself. Like, that is the primary tool you have. You know, you can read the paper, but you have no evidence. What you have are your senses. And
a direct experience
with
reality.
Your senses, right? That is reality. So so let's make that let's move towards that rather than running in terror from our own sensation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is what we spend a lot of our time and energy doing. I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think that many of us are
to finish. I mean,
but
I'm sorry but like to bring that all the way back around is I would say that foundation of sensitivity is that's where technique specificity should be placed on top of that foundation.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because sensitivity with very little technique, it can accomplish a lot. A lack of sensitivity with really great technique is not going to do very much.
Very good point. That's a very good point. I had never quite thought of it that way. But I think the sensitivity and the slowing yourself down, and first of all, being in the moment and being present in the moment, is something that I can tell immediately if the person's a great therapist, because that's what they're doing. Their technique may not be as great as the last massage I had, but that last massage, the person wasn't present. I could tell they were thinking about dinner. Maybe they forgot to do my right arm. They did my left arm. So that's it's you know, I mean, it's fine. It was a good massage, but it wasn't a great massage. Yeah. And I always want to strive, and I know you do. Every massage I give is better than my last massage, I hope. Because I'm striving to be perfected, you know, to perfect what I'm doing, to perfect that sensation and the melding of myself and my hands with my client, so I can feel the subtleties in there and I can feel what's going on. And you don't get that if you're not in the moment. And I think, you know, that's how, I think when we were even teaching, you could tell the students who really had that quality.
Right.
I have a few in mind I could shout out to. I'm not going to though.
That's
that were just
you.
Amazing. It's probably you, but no, that had that real presence about them, and that really translated. And a lot translates through your hands. You know, Bonnie used to say, starts with, remember this? She said it would start, how did she say it? You have a thought, you know, it goes from your heart and through your hands. So your intention to heal goes from your head to your heart and through your hands, or something like that. I'm probably not doing that justice, but I think that's true.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and what I enjoy just being able to, you know, it is always an opportunity. It's true in your daily life. So massage in a way becomes a practice of presence, you know, and there's always it can be of great utility in your life, you know. Absolutely. To be able to have this tool where you're like, okay, I got to set that aside. And especially when you're in a session and you're trying to be vulnerable, make yourself available, to hold this space, and then your client is having something arise, you know, whether it's like, I don't like that, you know what I mean, or this is what I'm feeling, this doesn't work, my life is in shambles, whatever is coming up. Right. And it's an opportunity. It's especially difficult for me if someone, and you know, and in the admittedly rare case that someone is not, that I feel that my client said this is not working right now.
Yeah.
And so then in that moment you have to say, how can I maintain, what you do is, how can I maintain my balance, be grounded, you know what I'm saying? And still hold this space so that the massage is successful.
Right.
You know, and and I've had times in my you know, those are some really challenging times, you know, where your mind really wants to rebel. Your mind wants, you know, possibly you want to tell the client how they are wrong for feeling what they're feeling.
Oh, you hit on a spot with me, because yes, you know, I know that we teach that, and remember we used to drill it into our students' heads that this is a client's massage, not your massage. We're not going to the depth you think you should go with your clients. You're going to the depth of your client's tissue can take, things like that. And so when a student, when a therapist kind of I guess I want to say forces their technique or forces this type of, I'll say a technique, a move, a technique onto the client because that's worked with 99 of their other clients and it's not working for this one. Okay, you need to have other tools in your arsenal, and you don't need to just force that one technique or force that. In other words, it's not cookie cutter massage. And I think too many times I'll go get a massage and I feel like this therapist has just done this on everybody, regardless of the fact that maybe my head doesn't want to. I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head, but you've got to really meet your client where they are too, and not just say I know what's best for my client, no matter what. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you?
Right. Yeah. It's. I mean, there is a.
It's you got to step back and.
Yeah,
humility
and as much as and
you're
there
a
is this
facilitator.
exactly, and the requirement is an absolute confidence on the one hand, and also the humility to really hear what is being said and what is being communicated. If you're doing a technique that works and then it's not working, you're feeling that it's not working.
Yeah.
So then so how do you proceed? And I mean it's invigorating.
I recently had a client, a couple of years ago, a year ago, and it was one of those situations where I'm used to me being able to do my thing with a client, and I've been doing this for 20 years. I know you have too, or at least 20 years, and so you get into your groove. Well, this particular client, she knew what she wanted, but she didn't have the words to tell me, so we had about 10 or 15 minutes of not quite understanding. No, you can't do that. Keep it moving. And
right.
I was like, well, it turns out the word was myofascial, and she loved deep myofascial work. And so once I understood that, then I'm like, okay, I can pull those tools out of my arsenal, and I can I'm not going to do my neuromuscular work that I love to do. I'm going to focus on these other tools that I don't pull out maybe that often, So you've got to, because I did have a few moments where I think I might have even said, I don't think I'm a good fit for you because I don't understand what you want me to do. And it is client-centered, but I am the professional. Right. So it was I really had to check myself, and check my ego and really try to work with her to figure out what it was she needed.
Yeah. Yeah, some of it does depend on the setting in which you are working, certainly. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do at times. I mean, I found myself being, get a little angry at a client every once in a blue moon.
It's like, in the back of your head,
you're like, really? Is that true?
Just trust me.
Exactly. I mean, hey. Exactly.
So, yeah, it is tough when 99% of your clients think you're like the be all to end all, and then you get a couple who actually. It's good. I'm glad that does happen for me. I mean, I'm not a perfect one size fits all for everybody anyway.
Yeah.
But now let me ask you this. So if people wanted to find more of you or your classes, where can they go?
I mean, right now it's one of the great things about me is it's very exclusive. You know what I mean? It's but there is, I mean, right now the massageandpractice.com website is being worked on somewhat actively. And
Massage in Practice.
Massageinpractice.com. And that's where all the classes, Heather's classes, are going to be appearing there. Right now the website I think is pretty, it's there. And you can also contact me through there. So that might be a great way. And I'm also on Facebook, and I log in once every 9 months.
And he also, actually, we should mention that although you're a St. Petersburg native, you do live in
I spend a lot of time near Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. So if you're heading down there, we could get together.
So thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I hope you guys love hearing a chat between two old massage therapist friends talking about the state of the business and the industry, and maybe we'll have a part 2. I'll think of some more interesting questions.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.